The air in my Seattle dining room hums with rosemary and tension, the kind that coils like a spring under a polite smile. It's my birthday. 36 years of surviving family dinners and still hoping for one that doesn't end in bruises you can't see. I'm Odalyn Hastings, the youngest, the one who keeps the peace while everyone else sharpens their knives. Tonight, I've set the table with mismatched silver, polished to a gleam, and baked Grandad Arthur's lemon pound cake, zest and all, because no one else remembers the recipe he loved. The cushions are fluffed, the roast is carved, and I'm playing hostess, referee, and emotional punching bag all at once. It's a role I've mastered, but tonight, something's about to snap. The crunch of tires on gravel announces the first arrivals. Mark's black Lexus glides into the driveway, sleek as a shark, and out slides Vivian, my sister-in-law, in stilettos sharp enough to puncture egos. She balances a bottle of Cabernet like it's a trophy, her lips curled in that half-smile that says she's already won. No happy birthday, Odalyn. Just a nod, cool and dismissive, as she sails past me into the kitchen, her perfume trailing like a challenge. My cousin Lila follows, eyes glued to her phone, muttering something about my quaint craftsman house. My mother, Elena, steps out last, clutching a small gift bag like it's a lifeline. She moves carefully, her eyes scanning the porch for cracks that aren't there. Behind her, my son Liam, 10 and all elbows, jogs up and wraps his arms around my waist. His apple shampoo scent is the only thing grounding me right now. I smooth his hair and whisper, "You ready, champ?" He nods, but his eyes are wary, already reading the room. Inside, the house smells of rosemary from the roast and whatever overpriced fragrance Vivian's peddling this month. She sets the wine on the counter with a deliberate pop. "Thought you'd want something decent," she says, her voice honeyed but sharp. "Your grocery store cakes are sweet enough." The jab lands like a paper cut, small but stinging. I turn away, sliding Elena's coat onto the rack, murmuring thanks for coming. The guests drift into the living room, grazing on crackers like they're at a gallery opening. Vivian lifts the foil on my cake and laughs, a sound like breaking glass. "Store-bought frosting? Bold choice." Mark chuckles because it's easier than defending me. Lila wanders by, tossing out, "Still in this starter house, huh? Thought you'd have upgraded by now." I flash a practiced smile, excuse myself to refill the punch bowl, anything to shake off the sting. Liam hovers nearby, his voice soft. "You okay, Mom?" I nod, but he knows better. He always does. By 6, the sun dips below the shutters, bathing the dining room in amber. I stand behind my chair, hands clasped, as Mark taps a fork against his glass for a toast. Before he can speak, Elena raises her hand, her voice trembling like a porch swing in a storm. "I just want to say, Odalyn has always—" She never finishes. Vivian pivots, her ankle twisting just enough to look accidental, and the Cabernet arcs through the air like a blood-red comet. It splashes across Elena's chest, crimson blooming through her cream blouse, beads of wine sliding down her cheek like tears. The room gasps, oxygen sucked out in a collective inhale. Elena's fingers tremble as they touch her face, her eyes wide with shock and shame, trying to pretend she's not dripping. Vivian doesn't apologize. She presses a manicured hand to her mouth, her laugh soft and venomous. "Oops, how clumsy of me." Lila snorts. Mark stares at his shoes. Someone coughs, but no one moves. The air smells metallic, sweet, wrong. I reach for napkins, but Vivian's faster, thrusting one at me like I'm the help. "Here, dear, wipe her down." The second blow hits harder than the wine. My ears ring, but I steady myself, dabbing at Elena's collar. She whispers, "Leave it, baby. It's just an accident." But her eyes beg for something I've never given, defiance. I escort her to the half-bath, blotting the stain, my chest tight with something I can't name. When she insists she's fine, I fold the ruined napkin, its maroon smear like a warning, and slip it into my purse. Back in the kitchen, I turn on the faucet, but instead of water, I feel a whisper of resolve. I pull out my phone, dial Nora at the gallery. "It's time," I say, my voice steady, surprising even me. Liam watches from the doorway, worry creasing his brow. I give him a smile that's more steel than warmth and send him back to the table. Dinner resumes in that brittle way people talk when they want to bury discomfort. Elena sits ramrod straight, eyes on her plate. Vivian twirls her empty wine glass, a victor waiting for surrender. I take my seat, fold my hands, and look directly at her. "Thank you for that," I say. Silence flutters like a broken wing. Mark frowns. Lila's brows knit. Vivian tilts her head, searching for sarcasm, but finds only calm. The kind that comes before a storm tears the roof off. They think it's over, that the stain on Elena's blouse is the end of it. They have no idea what's coming. The night unravels slowly, each moment a thread pulling loose from the family tapestry I've spent years stitching together. I clear plates, smile through gritted teeth, and dodge Vivian's barbed compliments about my rustic decor. Liam sticks close, his small hand brushing mine when no one's looking. By 10, the guests are gone, their tail lights fading down the street. I tuck Liam into bed, smoothing the quilt to his chin. "Deal with it." "I were mean tonight," he whispers, his voice small but sharp. I kiss his forehead. "I noticed, champ. Sleep tight." "Tomorrow's ours." He nods, but his eyes linger, like he's waiting for me to promise something bigger. Alone in the quiet house, I move through the wreckage. Lipstick-smeared glasses, shredded ribbons, a single plate Mark bothered to rinse. The porch light clicks off, and I unlock the desk drawer I haven't touched in weeks. Inside waits a manila envelope, its corner creased where Attorney Grayson's thumb pressed it across his desk 2 Fridays ago. Rain had battered his office windows as he slid it toward me. "Your grandfather amended everything," he'd said, adjusting his glasses. "The lakefront cabin, the acreage, the marina business. You're the sole beneficiary." I'd nodded, my pulse steady but my mind racing. He'd paused, weighing my silence. My advice? Patience. Let them show their colors first. Tonight they did. Vivian's smirk, Lila's jab, Elena's quiet surrender. They painted their intentions in crimson. I unfold the deed, tracing Arthur's shaky signature, each loop a testament to his trust. Something inside me realigns. Not revenge, but a recalibration of a scale I've been balancing alone. "I'm done being the helper," I murmur, rolling the crisp edge under my fingertips. Thirst pulls me to the kitchen, but small feet pad behind me. Liam, pajama pants crooked, clutches a glass of water. "Couldn't sleep," he says, eyes catching the papers in my hand. "Are we okay?" I crouch, meeting his gaze. "Better than okay. Trust me?" He nods, curls bobbing. I hug him tight, his warmth steadying me. "Things are about to change, champ. We're going to be fine." He exhales, trudging back to bed. Alone again, I slide a second document from the envelope, an instruction letter Grayson drafted at my request. "Tomorrow, a courier will deliver certified deed copies to every relative. No fanfare, just proof that the cabin they've coveted is mine." The stove cloak blinks 11:58 as I climb the stairs, exhaustion pooling behind my eyes. I kill the lamp, sink into the mattress. Then headlights sweep across my ceiling, lingering too long for a passing car. I slip from bed, heart steady, and part the curtain. A sedan idles at the curb, engine humming low. The driver's door opens and a silhouette steps into the street lamp's glow. Broad shoulders, familiar posture, my breath catches, not from fear but disbelief. Uncle Theo, who hasn't spoken to me since Arthur's funeral 15 years ago, stands under the porch light, rain misting his ball cap. "Odlin," he mutters, voice rough as gravel. I pull my robe tighter, step aside. He carries nothing but urgency in his eyes. Inside, he stays standing, hands cupped around a mug he doesn't sip. "I won't stay long," he says, glancing toward Liam's room. "Came to give you this before they blindside you." From his jacket, he pulls a silver USB drive. "Lila emailed a forged probate statement last night. Claims you tricked Arthur on pain meds." My pulse quickens, but my face stays neutral. "They're moving to void the deed," he adds. "I'll the draft myself." Same story Elena's been spinning. Poor Odlin, always needing handouts. I swallow the sting. Plug the USB into my laptop. Files load. PDFs of a fake affidavit, deposition outlines, even a sham psych report claiming Arthur had dementia. Each document carries Lila's metadata. "They're thorough," I say, biting down anger. Theo snorts. "Too thorough. Someone's bankrolling it. My guess? Mark's bonus and Vivian's boutique profits." I thank him, promise updates. Before leaving, he raises a weathered brow. "Arthur loved you, kid. Don't let them erase that." The door clicks shut. Dawn bleeds through the blinds as I rummage for a lockbox Arthur kept in his workshop. Inside, I scanned years ago, are 2 items: a letter addressed to whoever believes Odlin, and a Polaroid of newborn me in his arms, hospital corridor blurred. Elena is nowhere in the frame. My throat tightens. The letter reads, "If disputes arise, I changed my estate clear-minded and joyful. Odlin earned every acre by standing by me." In smaller ink, tell her the piano kept my heart beating. I press the page to my chest, then scan it to a cloud folder labeled Sunrise. Resolve sharpens. I email Harper. Opposing party filing fraudulent claim. Initiate sanctions. Attach scans. I hit send. Then call Nora. Plan B, I say. Drop the recording. Private link to family only. She chuckles. They'll choke on their coffee. Moments later, her text pings. Upload complete. The house falls silent except for my laptop's hum. I text Theo. Thank you. Doors always open. The encrypted delivery confirms all recipients opened the link. I lean back, exhaling. They wanted a fight. They forgot I've been training for one my whole life. But the night isn't done with me. At 2:14 a.m., a crash shatters the silence downstairs, glass fracturing, then a thud against hardwood. My heart sprints, but I roll off the mattress, pressing the panic button Arthur installed behind my dresser. A silent alarm pings the sheriff. Barefoot, I slip into the hall closet, crack the door and listen. Male voices murmur, "Check the closets." Another snaps, "Hurry!" Then Lila, her whisper unmistakable. She said the safe's in her bedroom. Grab the cedar box. Anger steadies me. I start recording on my phone, waiting. Red-blue strobes wash the windows. 5 minutes later, boots pound, commands bark. I stay hidden until an officer calls my name. Outside, Lila stands in a black hoodie, mascara streaked, tears staged. 2 men, Mark's contractor and Lila's boyfriend, are cuffed by the shrubs. I tell the deputy, "My relative and these men broke in, press charges for burglary and trespass." Lila whimpers, "Odlin, please." I turn away, more exhausted than angry. At the station, fluorescent lights burn my eyes. I sign the complaint while Lila tries charming the sergeant, claiming a misunderstanding. An officer asks if I'll withdraw. "If someone smashes a window twice, is it still clumsy?" I reply. He nods, logging my audio and a threatening voicemail Lila left earlier. Dawn paints the parking lot pink as I leave, Lila's sobs echoing behind me. Back home, glass shards glitter on the floor. I sweep 'em later. First, I kneel by the cedar chest they tried to steal. Its lock is cracked but intact. Inside, Arthur's journals, cassettes, and a portrait of 8-year-old me by the marina. Tears come, not from fear, but from his foresight. He knew they'd come for me. Hours later, the mailbox yields a courthouse envelope, an emergency injunction from Elena, contesting the inheritance. I close the gate, square my shoulders. The fight's just beginning, and I'm ready. The Seattle dawn feels like a bruise, tender and gray, as I stand in my kitchen clutching a mug of coffee that's gone cold. The broken glass from last night's break-in is swept into a dustpan, but the shards of safety still glitter in my mind. Lila's tear-streaked face, cuffed in the porch light, plays on a loop. My mother, Elena, filing an emergency injunction to steal what Granddad Arthur left me, feels like a betrayal sharper than any knife. I'm Odalyn Hastings, 36, the one who's always held the family together, but today I'm done stitching their wounds. The cedar chest, Arthur's legacy, sits locked in the crawlspace behind the linen closet, its journals and cassettes whispering truths no one else wants to hear. My son Liam sleeps upstairs, unaware of the war brewing. But I feel it, a storm gathering, and I'm holding the lightning. The courthouse envelope lies on the counter, its stark lettering accusing me of fraud. Elena's move is bold, desperate, and so very her. I text Nora, my gallery assistant, check the link, make sure it's secure. She replies instantly, locked tight. They're still freaking out in the group chat. I don't open the chat. I don't need to see Lila's venom or Elena's feigned innocence. Instead, I call Harper, my attorney. They've filed, I say, voice steady despite the pulse hammering in my throat. Lila's in holding, but Elena's pushing the injunction. What's next? Harper's voice is all business, a gravelly anchor. We counter with Arthur's recording in the mental health records. I'll verify the deeds logged with the county clerk. Stay sharp, Olana. They're not done. I hang up, the weight of her words settling like damp fog. They're not done. Neither am I. I drive Liam to school, his backpack bouncing as he hums a tune from some game. Mom, are we really okay? He asks, catching my glance in the rearview mirror. His eyes, so like Arthur's, search for truth. We're more than okay, I say, forcing a smile. We've got Granddad's strength. He nods, but doubt lingers in his frown. I drop him off, watching until he disappears into the school's brick embrace, then head to the gallery. The space is my sanctuary, a converted warehouse where Arthur's sketches and negatives will soon hang for the world to see. But as I unlock the door, a chill crawls up my spine. The security panel blinks red, tampered with. My heart kicks into overdrive. I step inside, scanning the shadows. Nothing's out of place, but the air feels wrong, heavy with intrusion. I check the vault where Arthur's journals are stored, locked, untouched. Still, I text Nora, run the cameras, someone's been here. Her reply comes as I'm adjusting a spotlight. Footage shows a guy in a hoodie near the back entrance at 3 a.m. Couldn't see his face, cops are on it. My stomach twists. Lila's accomplices were arrested, but someone's still circling. I push the fear down, focusing on the exhibit. The cedar-scented journals, Arthur's river recordings, his smudged sketchbook. They're my armor, proof of his trust. I won't let them be stolen. By noon, Nora arrives, her energy a welcome spark. Cops found nothing but a cigarette butt outside, she says, handing me a latte. But the footage is with them. You sure you're okay? I nod, but my hand trembles as I sip. I'm fine. Let's get the display ready. The day passes in a blur of hanging frames and testing audio loops, of Arthur's voice, his soft baritone narrating the lake's tides. But at 2 p.m. my phone buzzes with an unknown number, a voicemail. I hesitate, then play it on speaker. Lila's voice, low and venomous. You think that recording changes everything? You want public? Let's go public. You'll regret this. I replay it, her words like acid on my skin. She's out of Holden, defiant, and I'm not surprised. I forward the voicemail to Harper, who responds. This helps us. Keep everything. I lean against the gallery wall, the cool concrete grounding me. Lila's threat feels like a dare, and I'm ready to answer. That evening, I dress for the Seattle Heritage Gala, a black column dress hugging my frame like armor. The downtown Botanical Museum glows with pendant lights, a beacon of wealth and pretense. I RSVP'd weeks ago as a donor, knowing the family would be there, scented with entitlement and ready for a fight. The valet line hums, photographers snapping as I step out, offering a polite nod. Inside, white orchids drape from trellises, and a jazz trio fills the air with velvet notes. I spot them near the silent auction table. Elena clutching a sequined purse, Lila in crimson satin, posture sharp as a blade, and Vivian mid-gossip with a martini. They turn in unison as I approach the bar, their eyes like hawks spotting prey. A Tribune reporter, recorder in hand, corners me with a rehearsed question. Comment on allegations you isolated your grandfather to seize his estate? I shrug, calm as a lake before a storm. Enjoy the gala. The orchids are stunning. I slip toward the tropical room, heel silent on polished stone, but Lila follows, her voice slicing through the hibiscus-scented air by the koi fountain. How does it feel, stealing from your own blood? He wasn't even lucid. Conversations stall. Cameras rise. I feel every lens on me, but I don't blink. I tap my phone, volume up, and Arthur's voice spills into the stillness. If anyone questions Audlin, they never knew me. Gasps ripple. A champagne glass clinks against tile. Lila's mouth snaps shut. Then Dr. Elise Carter, Arthur's hospice nurse, steps forward in navy lace. That recording's genuine. I witnessed it. He was perfectly clear. Flashbulbs burst. Lila stammers, glancing at Elena, who studies her shoes. I turn to Elise, my voice soft. Thank you for guarding his dignity. She nods, eyes kind. I seize the moment, approaching a board member by the donor screen. Is the restoration pledge short? I ask. His relief is palpable. 25,000 closes the gap. I sign the check, my name rolling across the projected wall in gold. Donor of honor, Odalyn Hastings. Applause bubbles. Microphones swing back to me. I redirect. My grandfather believed beauty outlives us. Tonight we honor that, not rumors. The statement lands like a stone in still water, rippling outward. On the terrace, moonlight silvers the glass. I catch Leela pacing near the herb garden, phone to her ear. She played me, she hisses. Move the next part up. Tell Elena it's time. I linger behind a potted fig, recording every word. When she spins around, I offer a serene smile. Lovely evening, isn't it? She blanches, ends the call and brushes past, leaving a trail of rage and jasmine. I tuck the audio into a secure folder, pulse calm. They scripted this night. I stole the pen, but the danger doesn't sleep. Driving home, my headlights catch a shadow darting across the road, a figure too quick to identify. My hands grip the wheel, knuckles white. I check the rear-view mirror, half expecting a tail, but the street is empty. At home, I double-check the locks, the alarm, the crawl space where the cedar chest hides. Sleep eludes me, my mind replaying Lila's hissed words. Move the next part up. What's next? I don't have to wait long. At 4 a.m., my phone pings with a motion alert from the gallery's security system. The back door's been breached. I call the police, heart pounding, and grab a flashlight. Against my better judgment, I drive to the gallery. The street's eerie under sodium lights. The back door hangs ajar, a crowbar glinting on the pavement. Inside, a single frame lies shattered. Arthur's sketch of the marina slashed with a blade. A note is pinned to the wall. Back off, or it's not just paper. I snap a photo, forward it to Harper, and wait for the cops. My breath shallow but steady. They take my statement, but the intruder's gone. I board up the door, resolve hardening. They want me scared. I'm not. By morning, the courthouse looms, its granite facade as unyielding as Elena's resolve. I adjust my collar, folder in hand, as the courtroom door creaks open. Lila enters, wrapped in a charcoal shawl, a fake wrist brace and gauze under her eye for show. She glances at me, then looks down, playing the victim. Elena sits stiff in navy, like she's at a funeral, not a hearing against her daughter. Harper leans over. They're painting Lila as the sympathetic one. Stay steady. I nod, muscles twitching but palms flat. The judge, a woman with sharp eyes, calls the case. Hastings v. Hastings. Elena takes the stand, her voice a calculated mix of tremble and control. My father was vulnerable, she begins. Odalyn isolated him, manipulated his will. Lacey and I were there consistently. He promised the cabin to Lacey. Lila nods like a rehearsed actor. The judge turns to me. Miss Hastings, your response? I stand, joints distant, like I'm moving through water. With permission, I play Arthur's recording. If you're listening, they've come for what isn't theirs. Odalyn, you're my choice. You stayed. The room absorbs his words. I hand Harper a folder. Arthur's mental health evaluation, notarized, clear of coercion or dementia. Elena doesn't look up. Harper calls a witness, Tom Reed, Arthur's neighbor, a retired cop with a silver mustache. Elena visited briefly, never stayed long, he says. Once I heard shouting about the will. Lila came alone, asked me to say I saw nothing. Offered 10 grand. Gasps erupt. The judge strikes her gavel. Lila flushes red, whispering to Elena, who shakes her head, frightened. Their lawyer requests a recess. Denied. Elena's eyes meet mine, flickering with defeat, not guilt. I didn't fight to win, I say, voice carrying. I fought not to disappear. The recess is brief. In the hallway, a courier hands me an envelope, my name in mechanical lettering. Inside, a single line, "You weren't meant to survive the cabin." My blood runs cold, but I tuck it away, mind racing. The drive to Arthur's lakefront cabin is a blur, the early fall air biting with the scent of dying leaves. I park under the bare birch, the cabin sagging but intact. Inside, dust and pine hit me, along with something sharper, gasoline. My heart lurches. I scan the rooms, finding a faint trail of liquid leading to the storage room. I back out, calling the fire department, my voice shaking but firm. They arrive in minutes, confirming an accelerant, but no spark. Yet. A deliberate warning. I photograph the scene, upload it to the cloud, and text Harper. Attempted arson at the cabin, evidence secured. Back home, I check on Liam, who's drawing at the kitchen table. "Mom, why do they hate us?" he asks, pencil pausing. I kneel, meeting his eyes. They're scared of what Granddad saw in us. Strength. He nods, but his shoulders slump. I hug him, vowing to shield him from this storm. That night, I invite Leela to dinner at a quiet downtown restaurant, wood booths and soft lighting. She arrives late, coat expensive, smirk intact. "Didn't think you'd go through with it," she says, sitting. I smile, placing Arthur's recorder on the table. Her brows flick up. I hit play. His voice rasps. "Lila was here. I think I'm being drugged." Her face pales. I lean in. "You didn't just break into a house, you shattered a soul." She stands, knocking her chair back, and bolts. A woman in a dark coat 3 tables away follows her out. My phone buzzes, block number. Now it's my turn to speak. I shiver, but save the message. The next day, the gallery hums with preparations for Arthur's exhibit. Sunlight spills across polished concrete as I adjust a spotlight. The bell tinkles, and a tall woman in a dove-gray suit steps in. Margaret Wren, Grayson's ex-wife and Arthur's former nurse. She hands me an envelope, wax sealed. "Clarence trusted me to deliver this when the fight turned ugly," she says. Inside, Arthur's script. "If Elena or Lila push into fraud, this confirms my fears. Someone forged signatures. Use these to expose them. Bank ledgers highlight Elena's hidden withdrawals. An affidavit proves a fake will predates Arthur's stroke. Tears blur my vision, but they're release, not pain." Margaret's hand rests on my shoulder. "He knew you'd understand." I lock the documents in the legacy display case, then call Harper. "Prosecutors are filing. Larceny, forgery, elder abuse," she says. "Send the new evidence. We'll nail the timeline." The gallery fills with patrons, students, retirees, strangers honoring Arthur's work. My phone buzzes with another unknown voicemail. I ignore it, driving to Washington Park, Arthur's favorite, with his ashes in a wooden urn. By the lake I scatter them, the pale dust drifting on the breeze. "You're home," I whisper. A girl feeding ducks looks up. "Was he kind?" she asks. "The kindest," I say, kneeling and grave. She smiles. "Then you are too." I laugh, the sound real, free. Back at the gallery, I lock Margaret's documents in the vault and walk the floor. The lone spotlight burns over Arthur's recorder, its warning, its love, its thunder. I click off the main switch, the room falling into shadow except for that beam. The quietest voice saved me, and now it's my turn to speak.